All right, you gorgeous babe, Jocelyn McClellan here. You asked for it, I'm bringing it to you. I'm gonna give you the colors that look good for blue eyes, green eyes, and brown eyes. So let's get started. All right, now I have these blue-green eyes, and you never do know what color they are. It depends on the day, and it depends on what I'm wearing. But I'm gonna show you a fun look today that has that goes well with these colors. So what I did throughout this video, you're gonna see ones for blue eyes, brown eyes, and green eyes that are really good options. I pulled some colors together, but I'm gonna give you this look right here. Here we have the eyeshadow colors from Mascara Beauty. It's Kin, Sabrina, Zion, and let's see if I remember, Foxy. Kin, Sabrina, Zion, and Foxy. And those colors are gonna accentuate my eyes that are blue, mostly green, depending on the day. It's always green, but depending on the day, sometimes they go kind of blue. So we're gonna rock this puppy out. Let's get started. Starting things off, I do happen to have just one little basic eyeshadow color on right now. It's called Stay Golden. It doesn't do too much of a look to it, so I'm just gonna go over top of it. So if you feel like you wanna add that in there, you can. Stay Golden is a color that I absolutely am obsessed with. It's just so good. I love it. I don't know how else to say it, but I love it. Okay, I'm going to go in first with Sabrina. Now Sabrina is a really, really light color. Mascara Beauty offers two colors like this. Here's Sabrina here. There's one that's Rome, and there's one that is this one. Rome has a little more almond look to it. So if you aren't as fair as somebody that might want Sabrina, you can always try Rome, but it's always good to start things with that solid base color. So I'm gonna go in. I'm not using this compact because I want to keep these eyeshadows pretty, if you're wondering why I keep going from that one to this one. So I'm in my compact with mascara. This is a compact where everything, you can trade out whatever colors you want. I have, oh my lands, Joss. I have colors for my whole foundation, for if my skin's changing. I don't even have to have all that. This is all in here because I was showing different ways from going too light in color to too dark, and I haven't traded them out yet. But that's what's so cool is you can just pop in and out your foundation. So if you want more info about mascara, it's in the US and Canada. And if you want information on how to know what colors are best for you, I'm more than happy to help and be your artist. That's how cool this company is. It's awesome. All right, I'm gonna go in first with Sabrina. We'll zoom you in really well so you can see what I do. So the four colors I pick, I'm just gonna demonstrate really fast. I always have, if you notice, I will always have a lighter color, and then I will go to one that isn't too dark, and then I always will have like a transition color, and then ones to add in those added pops. You definitely want to add those added pops in because this eyeshadow tutorial look is for how to make your eyes pop. So if you want to stick to neutral browns, you can totally stick to neutral browns, but this one is a tutorial on how to make your eyes pop using eyeshadow colors. Now, one thing that you want to remember too is so many colors make your eyes pop because we don't just have one color in. Notice how I said I have blue greenish eyes. Okay, we all have these undertones in it. Brown eyes, actually, a lot of people have a redness to them. They have a green undertone to it. They have a yellow and a purple. They can have different undertones to them. Blue eyes, there can be little flecks of other colors in it. Some people with blue eyes have a yellowness to it as well. And then same with green eyes. They can have a yellowness to it, a blue to it, a little pop of brown with it. So there are so many colors that are universal that you can use. It's just what accentuates your eyes more. So you can have the basic or you can have the pop, whichever one you'd like. Okay, so Sabrina is going to go on my eyes, and Sabrina is a color that can go all the way up to the brow bone because it is a light color. Now in this tutorial, I want you to pay close attention. If you're like, well, I have mature eyes, I can't do that. You can. Anytime I do my eyeshadow tutorials, I make sure to talk about hooded eyes, talk about mature skin, talk about wrinkly eyes, you know, deeper set eyes. You can use so many colors. You just have to might tweak things a little bit. But for my eyes, I don't have the youthfulness that some other people might have. So remember, if you are more young, you don't need to go up onto the brow bone so much. We go on onto the brow bone more because our skin starts to sag and it's all so cute and we love it. But we're gonna camouflage all of that, so pay close attention to this tutorial for that too. So here we go. The next color that I'm gonna dip into is going to be the color that's called Foxy. Foxy is this baby right here. Okay, so she's gonna be what I get next. And we're just gonna pound her out. So I'm gonna go Foxy. I keep wanting to dip into Zion, but we won't. So Foxy is going to go right in the crease, and she's gonna come up in more. So she's gonna show a lot more of, she's gonna be seen, I guess, throughout a lot more than the other colors. So this one's in the crease. And then because I'm applying her lighter, I like how I call her, I don't know why, but I did. Because I'm applying her lighter, we're gonna get on to the brow bone. So the brow bone is what camouflages that excess skin, that hooded eye. If you have deep set eyes, you wanna make sure you don't do too dark of a color down here on the lower eyelid. So I'm going to do Foxy. She's got a little bit of a redness to it. That's why she works well with the green eyes, because green, the complementary color is red. And so that's where this is pulling in from, is that redness to it. So green eyes, the complementary color is red. Blue eyes, the complementary color is orange. And green and brown eyes, it all just depends with what's going on. In fact, brown eyes, you can seriously use anything. So pretty. Brown eyes though, dark purples, dark greens, reds, warm tones. Brown eyes look good with everything. All right, so I'm just muting that out on the top. No harsh lines. We don't want any harsh lines along here. Okay, next color that we're gonna go into is Zion. So here is Zion right here. Zion is the color of like red rocks. So the area that I live in has red rocks. We're gonna go in right here and tap in just like so with Zion. So I'm gonna tap in the corner, zoom in there, and I'm gonna bring it in. Notice I'm bringing it in just a bit. Okay, so that's the difference between the Foxy and this, is I am bringing this color in just a little. Okay, and I don't want it to have a harsh line where it ends, so I'm gonna turn my brush around and then I'm going to dab right on there and kind of fuse it on in to the inside. And then also make sure that there's no harsh lines. Okay, and on the other side, bring it, so on the Foxy, I brought it out here into the crease. On the Zion, I'm gonna come right inside of that, okay, and then bring it in. So this is just your basic look for an easy eye. So if you wanna take all the color examples that I'm gonna give you today, and if you just want to put those kind of in the same way. So the first color is a light color, the next color is a little warmer, but the lightest out of your other, making it pop colors. And then you're gonna go in with the next color up from that, and then you're gonna hit your darkest one last. Okay, so just always remember that when you're building up your eye, unless of course we're trying to create a smoky eye. But for this look today, that's what you're always gonna wanna remember with your colors. And I'm just sticking to 4 colors. All right, so there is with Zion. We are already popping. Like, I can see it from this green shirt that I happen to have on. And the other thing I wanna remember too is if you're wearing green and then you wear green makeup, it might just match too much. So you can make things work really well with each other and play on each other to make things pop. I'm already feeling the pop. Can you? Cause I can. All right, now don't forget to comment below if you have any suggestions that you want to see done with any eyeshadow tutorials, or if you have any questions. Remember too, here's a tip for you. If you tend to really open up your eyelids while you're doing it, and you're like, I am getting out of the hood, I'm getting all the way out there, right? And then you put your eyes down and you have so much excess skin that goes across, then see how I don't see that color any longer? So you really need to get your brows down and make sure it's there. So I am going to get mine down and do it facing down. You can even look down if you want so that you are not raising your brows, and then making sure that is spot on there. Okay, so that is creating that camouflage look for you. So just remember, drop those brows, because if we're used to raising them, this looks great, but this, I can't see the shadows as much. Always remember, camouflage those upper lids. Okay, we're gonna go in with Kin, the final color. She is oh my gosh, I love this color so stinking much. This is Kin. It is absolutely beautiful. I can't say it enough. Now, I'm gonna take Kin on the outer edge, and I'm just going to, are you zoomed in here? I'm just gonna bring her and I'm gonna pop her right in there. She's gonna finish off the look on the outer edge. So I'm gonna pop her in, and then you'll see how I bring her down into the lower lid here in a second. But this just adds that final pop of color that's gonna make my green eyes go crazy and make them stand out so much. So it's not overwhelming with the purple. It's just enough. We have some good warmth in there. And then those purples work with those red tones too for having the green eyes, because we all know what the color wheel, how they kind of smoosh together along in the color wheel. Okay, and then I'm going to take a different brush. This one's called the multitasker brush. It's the ones for mascara aren't wooden any longer, so just remember that. But you're gonna take Kin, tap off any excess, and then go along your lower lid. I will get that fallout here in just a bit. You're gonna go on that lower lid and just that outer edge, it will fuse itself back in on the center. You don't need to go in heavy, and then I finish this inside. Now for eyeliner, I will leave that up to you. I don't really need eyeliner because I have lash extensions right now. But if you wanna fill in any bare spots, I recommend going into the lash line instead of going up above the lash line, because you want it to stay really thin and nice and just finished, but really thin. Okay, I'm gonna adjust my lashes here, there. And then to get that excess off, I just take a loose brush and very fluffingly, I'm gonna fluff it off right there so it doesn't attach to my skin. Okay, I'll go on to do the other side, but this is how it looks with adding that Kin on there versus not having it on yet. It's so pretty. All right, so again, I'm gonna push Kin into that creates on the outer edge, just like so. Okay, and then as you can see, I'm just pressing her in time and time again. And if you are like me and you have wrinkly lids, sometimes when you press it in, it doesn't get into the wrinkles. So you might have to like hold down your lashes to get it to get into those wrinkles. Okay, then I'm gonna smush that out. So again, things are blended out really nicely. I'm gonna take my other brush, go to the under side here. And then my inner. And then again, if you don't have fake lashes, which chances are you might not, you're gonna take this into the lash line. Now, into the lash line, I don't mean in the waterline. The waterline, you would go up under here and you'd stay in the waterline. To go into the lash line just means that you literally are going into the lashes and you're going back and forth into the lashes, which makes it that it fills in any bare spots and it gives you the look that you have eyeliner on without having a thick liner look. My daughter always makes fun of me for that. Anytime I ever do my lashes, I always open my mouth and I'm like, and she makes fun of me. She's like, wait, so that's how we do it now? And I'm like, hey, when you get older and you got extra skin going on there, you're gonna do that with your face too. You're not just gonna be able to hold it still. So be quiet, sister. All right, you guys, and that's that eye. It is so pretty. And so I wanna walk you through some fun colors that I have right here for you, okay? Now, besides these 4 fun colors, this one is a really awesome look for greens, but I want to show you some other fun ones that I have pictures of. They'll have the names next to them so that you can see what I have too, okay? All right, so for green eyes, besides this first one that I have, let me tell you the colors really quick like those so that you don't forget. I have Sabrina, Zion, Kin, and Foxy. So those are the 4. And then another really fun one that I have that I really do think you're gonna like is this. Miha, I don't say that right either, I'm so sorry. Miha, Basic, Lullaby, and Sabrina. So the Miha is going to really pull, and it works so well with Lullaby. Don't be scared of Miha, she is a really bright pink color, and but she adds so much depth and dimension to the eye too. Don't be scared. The next one I have for you is Leo, Stardust, Cocoa, and Stay Golden. Again, Stay Golden is one of my very favorite colors. That is just an awesome color. If you have a skin tone kind of like mine, Stay Golden is so good because as we get older, we get red, purple tones on our eyelids, and it just helps pull those out. It's so good. So again, that one is Leo, Stardust, Cocoa, and Stay Golden. The next one that I have for you that you can use on your beautiful eyes for your blue eyes, the awesome eyeshadows for you. Ginger is one because ginger is that orange tones and pulls well with blue eyes. Ginger, Stay Golden, Cocoa, and Salem. This one is dead sexy. You are going to love it. Then we have this Sabrina, Zion, Kin, and Foxy. And we have Bubba, Sabrina, Lullaby, and Crush. Again, that orange is coming in with the beautiful colors that Lullaby can give, and the Bubba has the nice warm brown, so that's gonna go really awesome with your blue eyes. Brown eyes, you're gonna love this. It is gonna be absolutely so gorgeous. We have one that is Stay Golden, Gilded, Zion, and Cocoa. So pretty. So we pulled in colors. The Gilded kind of has the purplish tones to it with the brown warm tones as well. Zion is gonna pull in the reddish tones. Stay Golden keeps things really neutral. And Cocoa is one that's a really beautiful brown, but it is a warmer brown, exactly like chocolate. It is beautiful. You're gonna like this one for sure. Then we have the Sabrina, the Kin, Foxy, and Zion. Again, those reds, those purples coming in for those brown eyes. And then lastly, this one is so good. Greens on brown eyes are so beautiful. Finn, number 33, Rome, and Ivy League. I really think you're gonna love this. I can't wait for you to try it, and I would love to know if you love it. What's crazy about all this, you guys, is these names that I just named off, you might think that these are just for blue eyes, just for green eyes, just for brown eyes, but guess what? They work good for all your eyes. In fact, I challenge you to try these ones for green eyes. I challenge you to try the ones that I said are for blue eyes, and I challenge you to try the ones that I said are for brown eyes, because they are that incredible. I hope that you loved this tutorial. If you have a mixture, a concoction of colors, even if you aren't wearing Mascara Beauty and you have ones from other makeup lines that you absolutely love, take a picture of it, send it to me, and I'll create it using mascara. I'll do my best to create it using mascara. I think you're gonna like this. So again, let me go into detail really quick one last time. Start out with that lighter color, okay? So first color is a lighter color. The next color is gonna be this transition color. It's one that goes really well in between the brow bone and then a little bit lower, and it's gonna come in through here. The next two colors are gonna focus more on the outside of the eyelid. So the next one that we had that came in was Zion, and Zion came in about halfway. I wanna show you one last thing that you can do too that I just did not do. With your Sabrina as well, if you feel like things just aren't exactly in place that you want here, you can take that Sabrina one last time and pop it in the inside just to make sure everything is nice and blended in. So even though you started with her, you can finish with her just on the inner and just make sure all the tones are nice and even. Okay, a couple tips that I didn't mention before. When you do eyes, especially the older we get, we want to lift them up. So anytime you go in with the eyeliner, try to do this up first before you do the upper lid. Because when you do this up first, you're creating that smile, you're creating it to be lifted and not be drooped down. The next one I have is, I know I told you to go into the lash line, but if you watch my tutorials on Thursday on Facebook at Fit Mission Makeup with Jocelyn McClellan, I talk about get out of the hood, which is getting onto the brow bone, and I talk about going into the jungle. Into the jungle means get into the lash line. Okay, so you are seriously just windshield wiping it back and forth in that lash line, and that's just gonna help your lashes look thicker, add a little pop of color, and have some fun. All right, Jocelyn.McClellan, Instagram, that's how you can find me over there. Say hi, please, I love it. And then of course, Fit Mission Makeup with Jocelyn McClellan, as always on Facebook, where I do makeup tutorials on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I might have just said Thursdays, but it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I tend to do makeup more on Tuesdays and hair on Thursdays. And then if you need anything else, I'm on Pinterest, and of course I'm on here where we drop lives or new tutorials every single week. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know which eye color you have and what's best for you. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can be notified. Turn on the bell. It doesn't really ring, but turn on the bell so that you can know when a new video pops up. Have a good one. Take care. We'll see you.